Good afternoon. It's Sunday, and well, it's kind of hard to believe it's Sunday already. Don't know quite how to explain it, but somehow streaming Friday afternoon and then streaming late night Saturday, it always kind of makes the weekend feel really, really short. And that's not a dig. Do not get me wrong, but it is one of those things. Is that when weekends are generally short enough, it really doesn't help sometimes that by the time you've streamed and, done this and uploaded it, well, it's bedtime Friday night. So think about it this way. I get off work 12 o'clock Friday. By 2 o'clock, I'm streaming. And I've had my lunch and I stream then till tea time. I then upload it. I get a couple of hours and I go to bed. I get up later Saturday morning and time passes quickly. Suddenly it's 2 o'clock and I do a little bit of, I get ready to do a few things. I do a couple of chores, you know how it is. Do a bit later, and I generally get a bit done Saturday because obviously I've got all day. But it's 2 o'clock and you're kind of sitting there going, wow, it's afternoon already, and because that passed by in a blink of an eye, and then you do some stuff and it's tea time, and so you have some food, and you scratch your head and it's kind of ready to stream at 10. I then stay up stupidly late, like last night. I was up till 4:30. So Sunday you get up a bit late, and well, it's 2 o'clock already, and well, I know it's a bank holiday here tomorrow, but well, by the time I finish streaming, kind of it feels a lot like the weekend's over, and it is amazing how it eats the time. Anyway, let's get back to business. I'm trying to decide, by the way, with the tatting thing, whether I want to just make more kind of coasters, which don't need or want or use, which seems a little pointless, or I try and make it into something bigger, because we all know that my brain likes bigger, and that in making it bigger, I added 2 flower things to it this morning, earlier, whatever, and well, I put pin in as a marker for a corner. Hang on, syringe took a dive. I need to know where that went. I know something took a dive, but I can't see it. What was it? That was the thread thing. Where did the thread thing go? I don't see it. I don't see it. This is the problem with all of these things. Everything seems to be a shade of black. And in being a shade of black, when you kind of drop it, it disappears. I heard it roll off my keyboard, for goodness sake. There it is. Managed to do a whole 180 and disappear underneath something. But so if I because I added two flowers to it here, and although I chopped them off, so they won't quite sit right. But if I add 2 here and 2 here, it's going to start looking weird. So I decided, well, maybe we need a colour, but do we do, like, because I've got pink and blue, do I do, and yellow, although I think yellow would look pretty horrid potentially. I do like a round of, say, purple, and then make another white one and a round of purple, so that you end up with like white hexagons with a coloured join? Or do I do colour hexagon that I join to this one, and then a different colour hexagon and kind of pad it out? I would need to be very careful to make sure that I didn't end up, if I did that, with two colours the same next to each other, because they'd blur together. Because obviously in normal patchworking there's a line, there's a visible line, even if they're the same colour, there's still a visible line where you sewed it together. This wouldn't be. So I've got that one. Hang on, let me get my box. Let me drag them out of my box. Hang on. Grabbing all of them. Right. So I also have yellow, kind of green, well, teal, another white, blue, pink and coral. So I have colours 2, 4, 6. So I actually have 7 colours. Which could work quite nicely. Which of course is a lot of thread, let's truly be honest. So, because then you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so then you can do, you know, each of the colours around, and you'd have to keep track of it and make sure you always did them in the same order, so you don't end up again with 2 next to each other. But you could do quite a lot with that. So that is a very distinct possibility. But adding the white ones definitely was not. I definitely need to either commit to doing a big solid white thing, or go nuts with the colour. Now, one way I could do it and keep the hexagons good would be to make the hexagons, but instead of joining them as densely as this, join them on the 3 points, so there's a bit of a gap. She says, why don't I just chuck those? So instead of these going kind of, hang on, let's move you for a minute because you're not helping there. So that goes there like that. So instead of them going in there like that, have them go on the end like that, so there are little gaps, I know it's obviously not showing up too great because, you know, but it would mean then that you've got a bit of a gap defining each hexagon, and instead of making, because obviously if I wanted to join hexagons they'd end up being offset slightly, so if I did 3 and then 3, they'd each, it wouldn't be right, whereas if I did this they would match the edge, and it would make joining the hexagons kind of practical, because instead of joining them really solid, but then I'd be a bit worried that they were a bit flimsy. If I had another colour, one more colour. Hang on. Excuse you, young lady. You could do like joiners between there and there, so it would be more full, but not, if you know what I mean. Just thinking of another way of doing it would be to make a chain that kind of goes around like this, and then a chain that comes back. So you've got one in, one in, one in, but you also would then on the way back would join the same one and go to there and back. So you'd make, but I don't know how that would look. Don't know quite how that would work out. Grab needle a second. After all, we're not going to go for a masterpiece here. I feel it should be a stronger colour, but purple's open, so purple it is. Hang on. And I've only got 2 to try it on, so it's going to make it a little bit weird. Put that down there. That was weird. I managed to thread it through the eye of the needle without trying. My thread thingy. I just sort of poked it in the general direction like a blind stabby thing, and it went in, and I'm like, what's wrong with that? Oh, it's already connected. Right, so if I right, so we don't need too much of an excitement here. So about how many to do. Hello. So that's 6. How does that fit? Probably could use another 2. Just to kind of fit this in. This is probably not gonna work, but let's. You're not gonna see a lot for a minute because, again, blind person, need to hold it up against my face when I do things because incredibly short-sighted and all that. And It's not right somehow. Having one of those days already. Hang on, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Trying you to. Didn't really need to do 8 first, but there we go. As I said, bear with me a second while I fanny about. It's surprising how much string this takes sometimes. So, although you can't really see it, I've joined them along. Oh, Amy! Enough with winding everybody up! Sometimes you could really kill them, dog. Right. So, I need another 8 on the end of this, just to make it kind of fair. Should be 7. No, it's 8. Right. So let me pull that all the way through like this, and find out which end is the loose end. It's never the one you pull, right? I've only got a choice of 2. It's always going to be the other one. Right, so let's tuck you back out a little bit. So it kind of now has an edge to it, look. And then you kind of need to come back and untangle everything, because somehow it all manages to tangle in this time. So now I didn't have any picots, because well I didn't, and I need to try and find the edges of these. So I need to come foot's gone to sleep, or it's now waking up more accurately. 3, 4, 6, isn't it? Yeah. 7, 8. Pick up a hill. I'll just stab the bloody thing. I do find myself sometimes making my own life really harder by kind of, not by overthinking it, just by being real fucking dumb. Possibly twisted, but we'll ignore that for now because it's only a demonstration or an idea. But so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Checking I can count. Yep. You then go to here. Like that. And then I kind of meant you to join together. And at the moment I'm being dumb. I'm being dumb. Didn't join them together, so again it all twists and farts, but I yeah, 2 people counting never happens, right? I'll stop. I'm not going to count anymore. Hang on, let me so right, so the idea was that I was going to join at the peaks, and I forgot. That's because that's just how clever I am. And then promise not to count, not to count. I promise not to count. So let's go back. I'm not going to count out loud. I am capable of counting without counting out loud. Let me undo that. And I now need to join you, stab, to you, get out the way. Where did I join you? There. Up to the edge a bit more. The only problem with a lot of this is half the time is the 2 sides are not equal. Now that doesn't make a lot of sense, but just believe me, 2 sides are not equal. And so when you're trying to pull 2 things together to do that, that's hard. So let me You're trying to add 10 and you've got 90. So you need to do 10 and you're not knitting, but if you do 10 add 1, you will end up, depending on how the add 1 works, so if you do 10 you then go whatever, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, doesn't really matter. If you want to add, actually it would matter. Yeah, you need to do 9 and add 1. 80 to 100. Well, then you need to do one every 4.5, and that's not going to work. It depends how it works, because technically every 5 should work, as long as you can start or end on an increase. No, that'll be the 6th. So you do 5 normal, add 1. This doesn't feel... It's because I started on the wrong one. Oh, for fuck's sake, Kimber. You are useless. No, you popped it on the wrong. Actually, this is going to be very fiddly a second, because I kind of screwed that up, as always. Let's just redo that. It'd be a lot easier if I just drop that, put that through there, and then try picking it up. So if I pick that up through there like that, and then I can put you through there like that. Right, bear with me one moment, please. Then go through here, that makes a bit more sense. Shut up, Amy, you're not helping anybody. Now, we joined you, and we need to join you. So we go through you, and we need to find the seriously, why is it every stream I get one spam bot? Every wretched stream, and it says pretty much the exact same shit every wretched stream. And it takes me more effort to report it as a spam bot than it does to do anything else. And they always come when you're concentrating on something. So I'm trying to find you. So then we like that, and you like that. As I said, bear with. It will make a bit more sense in a minute. Hang on. Problem is that half the time the stitches pop off the top of the needle, which really doesn't help when you're counting them. You would go down to this one. Do that a sec. And let's call that kind of done, because, well, life is short and all the rest of it. Like this. So, this is not perfect, but you can see what my brain was thinking. So, let's zoom in on this. That's probably a bit too much, but let's zoom in on this. As I said, not exactly the world's masterpiece, but this fills in kind of, I can arguably do some form of loopage between these, should I so desire. But it would add colour, but not too much colour, hence it really needs to be a bit stronger. But it could join the hexagons on the edge. So I don't know. That's kind of a thought at the moment. But I think it would get difficult because you can't almost do it absolutely continuously. So I'm not sure that that is the viable option that I want it to be. But I could also do just a loop between, like I said, so I now need to take my glasses off because I, once again, can't see it. It's really hard to concentrate on things. Why does pulling on that not undo? It should do. Because it's tied itself in a knot. Because it's denying. Because I didn't tie you in a knot. Now I need a pokey thing. Should have left something to grab hold of at the beginning. Nearly undone. Just need to unpick the beginning, which is kind of hard because there's nothing to grab hold of. It might just be easy to chop it off. Now, what have you been asked to make? This has just tied itself into a knot. So, that's the end of that. Bored of that. That sounds like a plan. Anyway, let's put enough of this to one side and get back to what we were here to do. Right. Straighten you out a little bit. There you go. Okay, so here we're doing, you can go over there, you can go over there. Let's do a little bit more of this. See, the fact that my pins are all the way back there does make me feel like I've really kind of overdone the whole pin thing. But at the same time, I also know that if I took the pin out back here and there were no pins behind it and pulled on this thread, it would pull that. So you've kind of got to get to the edge to try and reduce the pull. So you've kind of got to have a diagonal, which is kind of where I'm at. So it is difficult. acted funny. That's the right bit. Oh, leaning on my leg again. I think we need some music, but I'm pretty sure hums of music's going to be annoying. Let's turn you off, you on, and hit go. And if you've ever heard the meme that goes with this, you'll know exactly what the words that go through my mind when that starts. And they're not words your mother would be proud of. Even though I know all the words to this, I still think of the meme first. Doesn't half make my... Because it moves quite a lot, it doesn't half make my fly thing really wobble. Like, imminently going to fall over wobble. Which is very distracting. You're all out of order, Summit. There we go. That looks weird. Something weird there. There's only one thread going across, which suggests... Yeah, that's all it is. There you go. I knew it was do it a bit weird. Right, put you out the way a minute. going to need you. Right, so we can't use you. So let's pop you out the way then, because you're not going to be part of this. We're going to try and fill a lot of this in. So we need you. That doesn't feel right. That's because it's not. Forgot to twist them, idiot. I was just wondering what happened to this artist, and apparently this as a result of her career, because she went from like nothing to everything with this song. She went through chronic depression and alcoholism and kind of sad, really. Yeah, I borrowed from you, didn't I? 1, 2. Only one. Very naughty girl. Hello, miss. Hello. What? Hmm? Hello. Yes, I see you. I do. How could I not? For you're standing on me. And licking me. How would I not see you? Hmm? No? How could I not? What have you done with Bruvs? Hmm? Is he outside? Is he being solar powered? Oh no, there he is. She said you were outside. You having water? Apparently you were. Come on, little man. Come on. You deserve huggies too. 'Cause you're a good boy. Yes, you are. No, you're a good boy. Oh. Yes, you headbutt the table. That really helps. Yes, it does. Helps Mummy lots. Yes, it does. Okay. You're a gentle little boy, really. You just don't like things like your nails touched, do you? No. Hmm. No, my little man. Hmm. Yes, good boy. Such a good boy. Biggest ear scratch. Take these off and I can give you a good look. Second. Look at you. Scared the crap out of the dog then. Amy, you need to chill, young lady. She does this all the time. Everyone's kind of comfortable. Everyone's kind of happy. She's doing something. He's doing something. I'm doing something. Sometimes we're watching TV or curled up on the couch together in a bit of a pile. But she suddenly will kind of spring like someone's capped her in the butt. And then, of course, she sets everybody off. Don't you? Can you stop licking my hands? And bashing my table. Right. Got some loose skin on my finger. Feels like there's something sticking in my t-shirt. Right. Do you ever notice that there are certain words that people sing that you just don't say it like that in real life? So, no. Not as in I knew. No. No. N-double-O. No. like moo, only it was supposed to be new. So you feel new. No, you feel new. Night. It's never night. It's always nad. Or nad. Me and May. If you listen to The Greatest Showman, the Towers of Gold song, she does occasionally say me, but most of the time it's for May. Winds me up. For no apparent reason, it just does. You hear it a lot. we have reached the bottom. Now I can put a pin in to stop it popping up for a bit, but we do need, arguably now, to attach the other one in the very foreseeable future. Sorry, it's bugging me. It needs to be a bit more level than that. And my boss has just texted me to say that they've got issues. Well, that's really nice. They've waited 2 hours to tell me. They should have known it by about 2:15. Busy. I'll look at it in a minute. Let's just put that on silent in case he rings. Alright. So, we really need to prick more of this one. Because I've done like this top bit, but I've got all of this to go. Just moaning at co-worker. I need to grab a couple of pins from the back of here and pop this down here like this. Probably means, yeah, I missed a phone call on my work phone, but then hey, I'm not on call, so it's on silent. I wondered why my boss had texted me on my private number. Finish this up a bit more. So, yeah. This one needs sorting because the thread's underneath some of it, so let's sort this out. For goodness sake, dog! What's wrong with you? Amy! Don't think there's anybody there. Probably something as simple as next door parked in my drive. No? no. Oh, no. I do. Oh, grumble, grumble. Amy. Yes, you're very annoying. Yes, you are. I do love you, but you're very, very annoying. Yes, you are. Stop grumbling. Rude. Hey, Sugar Bear, how are you? Oh. Good. That's good to hear. It's always good to hear. Now I know these are not the right 7, but I don't need them immediately. So to keep them out the way, poke you up there, which gives me a chance to use you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you want pair out. It's not that bad. Alright. Eh. I'm alright. I'm alright. I've got a text I need to deal with, but I'm kind of avoiding it. Apparently there's been a problem at work, except I'm not on call and I'm on holiday. And technically I didn't actually agree to cover it. And I'll be slightly annoyed if it's the same problem as always, which is it was out of space and you need to log in and bother to make some. Plus, you should have known at like 2:05, not 4:45. No, you are not the right pair for this. Yes, you are. You were not the right action there. Well, it's because it's on silent, honey. I'm not stupid. But yeah. So yeah. Something to hit it with. Hang on. Sometimes the pins don't kind of go in very well. There's obviously some tougher bits behind the scenes. I don't actually know what this is stuffed with. Feels like felty stuff, but maybe there's a lump of glue behind it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at some point I do need to do that, preferably before the time runs out on the patching, although not my responsibility. I'm sure Google has the answers to whatever the problem is. But you know how it is. So we'll finish doing this first. They've got 2 hours, so. blimey! Hey, Ox! Hey, Dorian, how are you? Hello, everybody. Wow. So, welcome to the channel, everybody. It's nice to see everybody. But overwhelmed, actually. So let's see where I'm at. Make you all a bit longer. That is good to have, everybody. Lengthen those a bit so that they go in a stick and sit over there. Now let's unhook you. You're a bit short. Oh. So, time to work down this side. One of the most common questions is how do you know what to do? Well, there's all these dots. I can't just pick a dot and work it. I have to work a dot that is available. And although there are a load of dots along the edge here, can't do those because you need the two that come in to meet it. So the only one I can really do is, well, the one at the top here. So that's what we're doing. And the magic lines that are drawn over some of the dots, because I was lazy and didn't remove all the dots, are there to remind me to do fancy squiggly thing. Weird. No, I am not making a wedding dress, Dorian. I am making a net curtain. Everyone blames Dorian. That's what Dorian's for. Sorry, Dorian. No, this is going to be a net curtain. It's going to be to cover a 44cm by 97cm window. And before you ask, yes, it is a strip. I'm going to make a number of strips and sew them together. Which is not an easy feat, but it's easier than trying to cope with. I mean, if you look at this, right, and I bring in all of the bobbins so that you can see them clearly. So, right, been doing this. You do hear British accent. I am definitely British. So if you look at all these bobbins, this makes just this little bit. Imagine if I tried to do 44 centimeters plus. It's a ton of bobbins. So, and frankly, there are enough of them already. So we're doing strips to make it a little bit more practical. Fair enough. No, if I tried to do Welsh, that would be a very Asian accent, because I'm not good at accents. The accent you hear is I usually get accused of being from New Zealand, which I'm not, never been. It is London-esque. It is not very London, but it is London-esque. Mainly because I lived there for a while, so not too surprising. But I now live much nearer the Welsh border. I'm in Gloucestershire, so, you know, a bit south of you. That doesn't look right. You are not right. Something's not right here. You are not the pair I think you are. Now this is not uncommon. Bobbins tangle and mate and you seem to be pointless. Something's not right in this chunk here. So let's sort you out. Now, I have pitifully awful eyesight, and I find untangling these things really hard. Because I can't tell what's on top and what's underneath. That's quite a long time. I don't know what it was like in Latvia. You know, there are people who move here, and I totally understand that, you know, where they were was worse. Depends what the video game is, because what was I playing the other day? Oh, I was playing a bit of Path of Exile too, because I do play games. And too much clicking, and my arms were going numb, and my fingers were tingling, and kind of RSI-ish, really. I know they're changing it all at the end of the week, don't get me wrong. So it is kind of one of those things, is that I do play games. But the problem with this is, as you can see, this is not exactly a speed sport. And for all the times that I am not doing this, it's going to take even longer. And in taking even longer, well, it's already going to take about a year. So there is this bit of me that kind of wants to, you know, get on with it a bit and make it so that I actually get to the end of it. Now, previously, we were making squares, and I made a lot of squares. And for your kind of information, this is what the squares look like. So we made a lot of squares, and the problem with the squares was the join. Because it would be a very hard line where the squares join, because it's flat edge. And we did a bit of experimentation. She says, looking behind me. There it is. And we made this. So we made this, which was me working out how to join strips together without losing my marbles, because I don't have many. And we also did some practice motifs to decide on what would make it to the final cut. And the entire internet was really boring because they picked the ones off the very first two. So, whatevs, right? But this join looked better before I washed it, because I inadvertently, well, I did consciously wash it, but I didn't think about what would happen when I washed it, because well, it just kind of went and turned into a bit of dental floss, frankly. So this didn't survive the wash too well. This stretched out alright, but it's kind of got a hard line in it. And this, because I washed the first four, this one survived the best, and it still looks kind of good. So I then used the same on the last two strips. So this is as wide as my window is, so I'm going to do 7 strips so that I can, because I'm going to alternate like big, small, and then on the next one, small, big, small, big. So to make it even, going to make it 7 strips wide, so it's going to be a bit wider than I need. But this was my kind of test zone. This took plenty of time, and as you can see, it's not very long. I mean, I've got normal sized hands, to be fair. Well, I say normal sized hands. Normal sized hands for a bloke. But I am not a bloke, but I know that. I did have a tape measure around here somewhere. I had it earlier. Oh, there it is. Blind cow. So, to give you an idea, it is 44 centimetres wide, give or take a bit, and, well, the short bits are 15, the long ones are 23. So, at 23, they're only like a quarter of the length of the required window. Pants. So I have 9 squares, which is half a window. And I haven't done anything with them because in true form, I've kind of gone off them, really. I'm sick of them, to be honest. But the join was only going to ever really, really stand out. This join, while it's apparent, it doesn't scream at you across the room. So, hence, we have a plan. I mean, if I really zoom in on it, hang on. I go this way a bit. Where am I? I'm here. So if you look, I mean, that's a pretty poor bit to be looking at, to be honest. Let's move it over. You look at this. You can see there is a join. But it's not this line here. It's this line here. Which is kind of weird. Because it looks on camera from here, it looks so very different. But if I give it a bit of a tug, they kind of floof out a bit. But yeah, the line is there. So it's kind of not this line to the left. And I don't know why they're bigger, but they're bigger. Because they can be, is a thought. But this is kind of the general how it's going to turn out, except none of these things are in it. We did give them names. We guess some of them got stupid names. So, for example, this one down here is the Eye of Sauron. But this was our test. And the join on this, even this join that stands out quite a lot, would still be better than the join from the squares, to be honest. So, kind of, we are kind of committing to strips now. But the interesting also part is that although the squares were the best part of about 15 centimetres wide, hence 3 was wide enough, a square, 15 centimetre square, took a month. Well, we're down to inch 7, so this line here is inch 7. Well, it kind of works out that this is a week. Strips are quicker for some reason. Now, turning the square is not hard. There's a bit of shuffling bobbins, but you just kind of put them in sticks and turn. So I don't know why, but squares took longer. Ow, Rory, that was a claw, my little man. I have 2 dogs. I'm sure you've all met Ox's dog. I can't really show you mine because, well, the camera's not set up for that, but I can do this. Those are my 2 little nutters. Not so little, are you? No. Thank you, Rory. They're called Rory and Amy. Rory is a black one, and he's quite gentle, except if you want to trim his claws. Sort of. Technically not. They're too small by an inch. It's not a lot, but by an inch. Oh! They technically do not fall into the guidelines by a hair. But at the same time, we all know that they are only guidelines and that the rules are not 100%. And that if someone wanted to, they could turn around and say, I have pit bulls, and immediately decide I've got to put them on the register or put them down for me. So, you need to learn to behave, don't you, little one? Oh, they're very cuddly. Except for this one, who's a crackhead. Aren't you, Amy? Yes. Amy is very much the crackhead. She's the little brown one. She's got serious ADHD. This dog cannot think the same thought for more than half a second. No. No, you don't, do you? No. Her nickname is Amy Winehouse, because she's quite vocal. Yes, darling. Yes, we're talking about you. Yes, we are. By the way, if you hear sniffings, that was her nose on the microphone. You nose bumped it, didn't you? Yes. What? Yes, I know. I know. So yes, it is one of those. They are kind of pit bully, though. It has to be said. But it is. Like many dog owners, I struggle because if I kind of admit that they're pit bulls, they have to wear muzzles all the time. They can't be off the lead. They can't have any fun. And by the guidelines, they are too small. So they're not big. No. It's not your bad. No, you're not. You're not. It's just one of those really awkward things. Is that I mean, I had a dog. Oh, they are cuddles. Well, one of the things that always used to make me laugh is I had a dog called Maddie, and Maddie was Labrador Boxer. Okay? She got the boxer's brains, that was for sure. But she looked like a staffy, but she was a bit big. So there was a book in Pets R Us that almost had her photo on the front of it. You really would have thought you know that was the same dog, but she was bigger. And lots of people would kind of go, well, what is she? She's a Labrador Boxer. Oh no, she can't be. Well, technically she was. But she absolutely looked like a staffy. And staffies are also great cuddle bunnies. It is weird how, I guess like everything, you can see what you're looking for, I suppose. But I did see a dog who looked utterly like Maddie. And I kind of chased them down a bit. Not, well, almost literally. They turned into a car park, so I pulled in and stopped and kind of hailed them. And asked about his dog, because she, you know, Maddie wasn't that old, and this dog looked a bit similar. And they were very similarly aged, so it could have been that they were related. Because Maddie had been got through a dog shelter, someone knows exactly where and how she came from. But it was kind of interesting to see, it, you know, another dog who was so similar to her, but she was actually a staffy. Now, the following gets complicated, so bear with me. I kind of need that one. Let's put you on a stick. The reason it gets complicated is because I've got to make sure I make it the same as all the others. Because if I don't, it's going to look stupid. I know there's only one in the middle, don't worry. Because I technically need one more from here. Right. Now we put you to one side and you to one side. And then we... check I did look at the right picture. Yeah, I did. Good. that side done. Oh, I've got a really wobbly table, so I do apologise for my wobbly table. Ah. Yay! Well done, Nautical! Nautical is making a net, by the way. And had been losing count and well, not losing count, but not ending up with the numbers expected, and it was bothering him, so we are pleased for Nautical here. And I just did that wrong, because I'm a douchebag. Math is mathing, and I'm a douche. Why am I a douche? Because I did these two together, not this one and this one, because I'm a complete prick. Let's undo this then. Right, let's try that again with the right pairs. And yes, a creepy magician, it is absolutely easy to lose your marbles doing this shit. For I have no marbles. I have very few. Well, if I do, I have very few. Yeah, I mean, I know it all adds up at the end, but it sounds kind of a little cheap, to be honest, but right, now you are out the way and you are out the way, and I need you. No, not you. Oh, Rory, you've got a heavy head, my man. You do. you're being a good boy. You are. Yes, you are. Oop, change plan. Right. This is the bit where it gets kind of fun. Or not, as the case may be, to be honest. So, twist those, and those, and those, and then let me tighten everything, just because, well, that's how this shit works. And then we do it all again. So we go over, under, over, under. And then we go under, over, under, over. And then we go over, under, over, under. And then we go under, over, under, over. Like that. Then we do twisty, 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 and twisty, 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 twisty. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right. Oh, my leg. I really do need to sit more straight on this chair. Now, we oops, I twisted the wrong one. Right, so you're done. There's supposed to be a pinhole around here somewhere. About there-ish, I think. I obviously didn't stab it, so... Now we go to this side and we do this shit this side. Loosen that pinhole, tighten it up. I think technically we have breached 7 inches, so I'm going to claim 7 inches. I'm going to put my bloke hat on and say, oh, I reckon that's 7 inches, because that is the line here. So pretty confident we have breached 7 inches now. So might even be 8. I'd have to go back and count, to be honest. Yeah, it might be 8. This is the problem with this. In fact, let me pull out my large pile of strips to come and find the first one. 2, 3, 4. No, that's the bottom part, so it's not you. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that probably is 7. Looking at. So this is the strip from the side that starts with a small, and the inch-ish markers are down the right. Now they're not accurate, we know that, but this is the third one from the bottom, so that's there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 inches. I'm going to go with 7. I thought we were near a 7 when we started, which makes it feel like we haven't done very much today, which is kind of definitely not the case. So and then we need you, and we run down down the side. So, yes. And then I guess I should find out what's gone wrong at work. When I finish this. As my manager's texted me to say something's gone wrong. Could I help? Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we work down the side of this one. That doesn't feel right. This is also common. You do a chunk and then you look at it and you go, I'm not sure that's right. So you go back and you do it again. And then it looks different, but you're not sure what you did different because, well, that's what you thought you did last time. So this bottom thread is bugging me that it is. I think it's just angles. Yeah, I think it's just the angle because that's supposed to be, that'll come off there. I think it is just the angle of it all. Dear God, no, not Tiffany. case any of you are wondering, I have text-to-speech in my ear, so when you speak to me, it tells me it, so I can look at what I'm doing. So, right. Technically, let's do the last one at the bottom. There you go. Ah! Well, it's sometimes, I know people sometimes wonder how I can concentrate and hold a conversation. Because obviously normally as a streamer, no, I'm not aware of particularly any Marys in the family tree of immediate vicinities. I did think about changing my name to the Lace Lady. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I did think about changing my Twitch handle to be Lace Lady. Yeah. But now, I really... Yeah. But I do need to prick this so that I can attach it about there. Because I say I've done down to here. So I have to hold it up so I can see the light to see where I finished. But I have to do the rest of it before I attach it, really. So I guess that's something I will probably do off stream because, no offence, I do appreciate that while this is an essential part of my process, because it helps you get very neat, tidy, accurate stabbing of pins so that all of the lace is equally spaced, it's really dull to watch. And it's really dull to do as well, by the way, but it's like every dull thing. If it's dull to do, it's almost certainly even duller to watch. So rather than make you endure more of that, because you have stood by me through a number, I mean, you stood by me through most of that, it is a little bit much, should we call it. I can't really make you sit through 2 meters because it takes a long time, like 4 or 5 hours to prick it, because you've got to stab every little hole. Can't really make you watch kind of 20 something hours of pricking. So we're going to bring, I mean, to be fair, at least once we've done them for the first 2 strips, because there's 8 chunks in total. But at least if we kind of get to the end of that, that'll be it for the curtain. You don't have to redo them. So, because these are reusable, which is why I laminate them, so that they live another day. It's not traditional to use brown paper, by the way. It's usually tradition to print them on white and then put a blue film over the top. Problem is blue film's shining. Second problem is white on white doesn't show, but the black dots on this extra cheap brown craft paper, because this is recycled dung heap or something, is, and then I laminate it with a matte laminator. You don't get shine, so I mean it can reflect the light a little, but not a lot, so it does help you see what's going on with the white threads. So and to be honest, I quite like it. I quite like using the brown. I find it quite a relaxing colour. Because it allows me to have this light on stupidly bright without getting like snow blindness from the white paper, so, or the shine from the shiny stuff. So I probably could do with making the edges of these a little bit sleeker, because, well, technically it's a bit wide at the top here, so I might have a trim. The problem I've got is I've got a guillotine, but it's hard to put the piece of paper in accurately. Probably should buy a better one, to be honest. But, pair of scissors will do for the most part. But yeah, I need to kind of trim these down a little bit to make them a little snugger. Exactly. But yeah, as the bottom is now here, so if I take these two pins out, tink, there's the end, look. So this goes kind of here, like that, and continues the pattern. So yeah, I need to join that on. And by the way, this goes underneath just to make life a little bit more awkward. Because putting it on top would be easy, because you can see where it is. They do, very much. And pricking holes in this shit is not fun. Anyway, I'm going to give up for the evening. It's just after 5 o'clock here, after all. Getting hungry, as I haven't eaten all day yet. Don't get fat by starving. And I should be back. Now, tomorrow is bank holiday, so I might start earlier. Keep an eye on Discord for news. But as I'm off all week because I'm skiving, well, I'm not skiving, I booked it off, so it is official leave. I shall hopefully be a bit more awake because I can nap more, but by the sounds of it, I'll be hearing from work this week. I'm sure I will. But yeah, I've got to go and find out what my boss wants. So take care, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much for the raiders for turning up. I appreciate that. I do get a bit flustered because I'm not used to having too many people watching. It's lovely, but at the same time, it's a bit weird. It's a bit creepy because, well, I remember when someone raided us with 100 once. Holy crap, was I embarrassed. I didn't know what to say for myself because, well, I mean, at least with Oxy's lot, I've met some of you, right? You're just not used to hearing me speak. But at the same time, when it's 100 random people you've never heard of, turned into a bit of a gibbering wreck because I am naturally hermit. I really, really am. Yeah. I'm not exactly people. So, thank you for coming. I hope some of you will come back. As I say, keep an eye on Discord for cancellations and extras and things. Most of us work in kind of stroke IT stroke something. We kind of get it. We have people quotas, and well, pretty much by the end of my job, I'm out of people quota. I've used it all going to work, you know. But as I say, I've got this week off. I have things I should do. I probably will not do any of them because I'm a lazy cow. But there are things I should be doing this week. If I do any of them, I will let you know. But it should be a good week. This coming week, well, next weekend is Monsters and Memories and the Path of Exile 2 release. Bit torn there because, well, I want to play Monsters and Memories, but at the same time, the Path of Exile 2 thing's coming out. But Monsters and Memories is for a week, so I could probably split my time, shall we call it. It's a shame it wasn't this week with the bank holiday because, well, as I say, I'm off. Then I had plenty of time to split between the two. Badly planned, people. Badly planned. You clashed as well, which is even more dumb. But I will be back tomorrow, Monday. Yeah, Monday, bank holiday. Apparently the weather's going to be meh to okay. And then it's going to piss me rain for the rest of the week. So you can tell I booked it off because it's going to wee with rain all week. But I shall be back. Take care, everybody, and have a good day wherever you are. Bye-bye.